I've played Ark Hardcore in the volcano only. I've beaten Ark without crafting, but now I'll be taking on a challenge harder than both of those put together. I'll be beating Ark, but my stats are bottomed out. Make sure to stay until the end to see if I can do the impossible. I start out as any Ark survivor would, harvesting a tree. I wanted to go get some wood. Nice casual wood. No, that's not happening. And that is why you'll see me be the very first person to ever get excited about seeing a Moschops. Because after very slowly making my way down the beach, I tamed up a Moschops and could finally harvest resources. But not long after, you'll see one of the most annoying creatures in Ark got even worse. Oh no. Because both Ichthyornis and Pegomastus kill me in one shot. Isn't that fun? I started a little starter base, mostly just so I can make a bed and don't have to make the slow and painful walk all the way down the beach. And here you can see how terrible harvesting resources is, with a very low melee damage, and no stamina. It turns making a mortar and pestle into a 15-minute process. And you might be asking yourself, how can you even make a mortar and pestle without the weight stat? Well, pipe down, idiot, and give me a chance to explain. Step 1. Drop the items from the dino and pick them up. If you're wondering how all of this is possible, or how I knew to do this all, it is this fantastic tool called Hindsight. You see, this is actually my second attempt beating this challenge. The other one I got pretty badly soft-locked, because hot and cold instantly kills me. And if you are also wondering why I'm max level, it's because the only way I could make this work was making my stats decrease as I leveled up. If there's anyone out there who knows how to make a mod, or has more than just a single intro course into C++, let me know in the comments. And while you're there, be sure to hit the subscribe button. It helps me out a lot. But back to where we were, my Moschops and I do some grinding, and we get our small base set up with a refining forge and smithy. And if you're interested in what my favorite thing about having a refining forge is, off to a great start. Have to get up. Dang it. It's how it instantly kills me during the day by heating my home up too much. So I turned that off and made some narcotics to tame a bird. While doing that, I saw an aloe, so I took my OP Moschops over there to kill it, and then finally found and tamed up a nice level bird. Named her Glidesdale, and since I am permanently worried about losing everything I have and having to restart, I tame another bird and another Moschops. My goal was to tame a horse, because from experience there is not much that can compete with them in challenge runs. So I fly over to an area called the farm and get plenty of rock carrots. Then I fly back over to where I was and tamed up a couple horses. Then to be safe, bred up an extra one, which I'm thankful I did, because a group of aloes attack moments later and we do lose one horse. But then I knock out a Dodic because getting stone was getting ridiculous. Along with that, I tamed an Anki and was able to finally get some metal. Then lastly, I knocked out a tame to get wood, and I could finally finish my base, and I started on a trap. And let me tell you, having my stats low doesn't prevent the process, it just lengthens everything. But I finished the trap and set my sights on an essential tame, an Argentavis. It isn't hard to get it in the trap, you just have to maneuver it in there. The hardest part is that I can't hold the crossbow and move at the same time, so I have to position myself in the best position. It still wasn't too hard. I tamed up the Argentavis and immediately go to get ironed with my Anki. Then I start my process of getting an army of Deinonychus. I search and kill many tech dinos because finding silica pearls are practically out of the question. And while trying to tame a dog, I got a little frustrated and had an outburst. I searched for a long time and only find a couple of subpar eggs, but I felt it was good enough, only to learn that 3 ACs were not near enough. Oh, only if I knew how many I would need. So I grind for many more ACs and breed my very low level eggs until I get 20 Dionicus. And I also grind out 20 saddles, and now I'm on to the final step. I need to actually get the artifacts and the tributes. Most of them are easy, but some were not. Specifically the Titanoboa Venom. It took me way too long to do this, but after I finally finished, I head into the temple to get one of the artifacts. It wasn't difficult, I just need to be careful, and after a tutorial I found my way back out. So now I need to head to get the final 2 artifacts, one being in the Brood Mother's Den. One being in the Brood Mother's Den. So after some prep and some dying, I head in and...
Guys dropping down here and fighting the Brood Mothers, if you're just going to go for the artifacts. If you want to come down here on foot, this is a path. Go around, well, come down the ramp from here. That leads you to there, but I'd cut all this out.
Immediately die. So apparently I needed a gas mask to go in there. Found that out the hard way. The tutorial I watched mentioned nothing about it. Thanks a lot, Nooblets. And now you see I am faced with a dilemma. My server I was paying for expired in 18 hours. And I needed to go back, grind for a gas mask, and grow crops, and get an otter so I could do the next 2 caves. So you know what I did? Not that. Listen, before you get upset, just watch. Trust me. Okay, you'll work. I do love me some Hardcore punch. Oh my god. I hope this works out. Chill, guys. Oh. That was fitting. As you can see, I am very happy I didn't spend 10 hours of my life grinding those resources for that outcome. And I lost the run. Very fitting. But I do want to do this again. And I'm not going to give up. But I think this attempt was still worth showcasing and making a video over. This run is a work in progress. My next attempt won't be on this map though, that's for sure. As well as I'd like to use a mod that makes my stats zeros rather than my caveman brain having to code it into the game.ini. But if you want to see me try again, like this video and I'll do another one. And as always,